Hey guys, Scary here. I want to bring you another video here where I cover the likes of Warlords of Draenor. So, as in my previous video, it talked about things that I disliked about Warlords of Draenor, things that weren't fun, enjoyable, and you can click on the video it's in my channel, or I think I'll leave a link to it here where you can watch it. But so this video, I'd like to take a moment and cover the things that I do like about Warlords of Draenor. I know it's hard to find the good things out of it, but when you actually sit down, make a list of things you like, you come up with a lot more than you think you really did. So the first thing I want to cover is balance. I think that in Warlords of Draenor, I myself did PvE for the biggest start of the expansion. I did Mythic Highmaul raiding, I did Mythic Blackrock Foundry raiding, and then I started into PvP more after and during Foundry. And I've always been a long time PvE and PvPer, but PvE was really my focus here this time around. And so I think the balance as far as the classes, that's more of what I'm focused on, has been really good. I think there are certain classes that still can be outliers in certain situations. Like, for example, in Blackrock Foundry, Balanced Druids were really, really strong in a lot of fights. Starfall, LOL. And I think that even now in Hellfire Citadel, certain things like Arms Warriors or other things are really dominant in certain areas. But there's not one class that is just far and above and beyond for the entire deal. And so I think that balance has been really good, and I think even balance in PvP has been really strong. In the arena, you see a lot of good mix of different specs and classes. Of course, you have your certain comps and stuff that do really well, but a player that is really good and knows how to do good play, he or she can pick up pretty much any spec and it really pull it off really well. So really impressed with that. And next I want to cover a little bit about another thing that I really enjoyed about Warlords was leveling. I think a lot of us enjoyed the story of leveling, and the quests were a little more interesting, not as bland and boring. And well, there were some that way, but for the most part, they were actually enjoyable to level up, and a lot of people enjoyed leveling. Cutscenes were really awesome while leveling, and I think that made it more enjoyable also. And the pace was alright. I think that personally, I'd like to go forward with a slower pace of leveling, but I think the pace for right now actually did really well. It was a nice slow pace, or a nice faster pace, and did really well for this expansion. I do think that they put a lot of time and effort into the leveling experience, and I think that it would have been nice to kind of slow it down a little bit more, but I think it was alright. It did really well. I liked it. Another thing I think that was really awesome about Warlords was the art. I think the art team did absolutely amazing. The art of the environment, I'm looking around the raid here, just amazing. The entire raid looks awesome. All the raids looked really nice. And the bosses, the character models being redone. There are some outliers. Some of the Night Elf stuff kind of ugly looking, but there's still some stuff they're working on. But I think the art team did a really good job of making some really cool buildings and some environments, and just the attention to detail in certain zones. If you do go out and venture around, they did an awesome job with the art. And so I also think something that was really good about Warlords of Draenor was, and I think this kind of happened in MOP too, but I think they did a good job here also, was the amount of time it takes to do hotfixes. It's really awesome for them to be able to do it so quickly and react so quickly to certain things that might be out of whack, certain bugs in the game, or class issues, or the raids having issues, whatever it may be, and how quick they are to responding to things, getting the hotfixes pushed out, and how they don't have to wait till a reset to do a lot of hotfixes. There are certain ones they have to wait for, but a lot of the things that cause big gameplay problems they're able to get in pretty quick. And I think they did a real good job this expansion also with getting those hotfixes out and fixing things quickly. And kind of talking about the raids, I think that another thing that was really strong in Warlords of Draenor was the raids. I think that the raid environments were cool, neat, creative. The bosses had really cool mechanics. We saw some newer mechanics now and we haven't seen. And I think that's something that we really have to acknowledge when it does happen, because I think that the raids I sit down and I think, okay, if I were to make a raid environment, how hard would it be for me to really come up with so many different ideas on what the boss could do? And you can only come up with so many move out of this stuff and so many, share this and dispel that and etc. So I think they did a good job with having each boss have interesting mechanics. Some of them slacked, but some of them did really well. And I think the difficulty of most stuff was in a pretty good place. There was something for everybody, and that was something that's good for a rating overall. And the raids themselves, as I said, the bosses were cool, and the environments were neat, and the art team did amazing with the bosses and the environments. Also, something that's not really acknowledged a lot, but the music. I think the music was absolutely amazing in Warlords. I think the team that made the music and did the music absolutely did amazing, and there's some really good videos online of some of the WoW music, and Warlords really did awesome with it. People put a lot of time and effort into it, and you can tell they really took the time to produce some really good stuff. Some of the smaller features that I think a lot of people don't really think about, and that I really looked back and said that I'm happy that it's in the game, and I'm happy they finally got it going for us, was things like the toy box. That was something that, you had your bag full of toys, and now they finally in Warlords Draenor were able to put the toy box out to where it all goes in the, or most of it, still some outliers, but most of it goes into the toy box, and you don't have to worry about it cramping up your bags and stuff. The heirloom tab, that's a big one. Heirloom tab. It's not having those on all your characters, having to figure out what tune they're on, sending them over, having a tab that has them all is awesome. I think they did a great job finally getting that into the game. The WoW token is a big one. I think that, well, it was kind of the bigger feature of one of the patches, Sillily, I guess. It was a good addition to the game. I think Warlords adding that token in has really changed. For me personally, I have enough gold and I make enough gold that I don't have to worry about paying real money for it. Not that I necessarily need to care that much about it, but it's just nice not to have to worry about it, not to pay for it, and being able to use your in-game currency that you work for and use, or if you feel that you don't have the time to be in the game and you just want to spend your real life money, you don't have to worry about your real life situation, that you can buy the token, sell it for gold and make some gold, and that way you can buy gear or whatever you want to do with it in game. That's also awesome. So I think, in review, kind of looking over the things, there were a lot of really good things about Warlords. There were some really good benefits of it. I think that there's a lot of things they can improve upon, as if you had watched my dislike video, you're very aware of. But I think that there's a lot of things right now that are in the game that, going further into the next expansion, which they'll be announcing next week, I think those things that are good will be able to carry on, and I think that they have a high bar set for the art team and for the music department on how well they need to produce those things. So again, thank you guys for watching the video. I'm going to put out some more videos, or I'd like to put out some more videos covering some other things, topics. Let me know what you think about these video formats. I'm not a very good editor. I'm still kind of learning things, and I appreciate if you could let me know what you think, what things I could improve upon and do differently. And if there's any, I'm kind of looking at wanting to make an outro for myself. If you could put some advice for me on there and kind of give me your own feedback. I'd be interested in seeing what you guys have to say about your likes and dislikes. I love reading the forums, and I love reading things from other people, and so make comments down below. Let me know what you think of Warlords, what you like about it, and then visit my previous video where I talked about things that I don't like about Warlords Draenor. And I'll go ahead and finish this out here with me killing the bosses here in Hellfire Citadel Raid Finder. Hardest stuff right now. And again, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see some more videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.